G'day guys, it's Nathan Fletcher for Drunk Philosopher. Today I'm going to talk about a meme, a question, and the Australian Parliament. I'd like to start with the idea of the meme. The meme is a statement. It's hashtag it's okay to be white. Okay, that's the meme. It comes from 4chan. And it was a direct response from what seemed to be happening in America with the Black Lives Matter movement, and how the Black Lives Matter movement, there were elements in that movement that were saying that white people are the worst people in the universe, that they were the cause of all the suffering in the world, and basically being very hyperbolic with their rhetoric, even to the point where some police officers did die due to the Black Lives Matter movement. So this is terrible. But that was a response to the Black Lives Matter movement. That was back in early 2016. Okay, so it kind of died after a while because as Black Lives Matter became less relevant, so did the meme. Pauline Hanson's One Nation, and Pauline Hanson herself, the senator in Australia for the upper house in Parliament, decided to take it upon herself to act against what she determined as anti-white racism. Now, I don't know why she said anti-white, because she could have said racism against white people, but that's the way she put it. And she's been going on this crusade, I would say, now for a little while. So she went to federal parliament on Monday, okay, and put it forward, this proposition forward, to the parliament. And the parliamentarians, in spite of their apparent intelligence, which I question now, instead of looking at this statement which says it's okay to be white and going, well, yeah, of course it's okay to be, we're not even going to answer this because it's just obvious, right? That's what they should have done, in my opinion. Just kind of, this statement isn't even worth answering as a mandate, no, or whatever it was. It's not even stupid, not even worth putting in. Instead, they decided to go there. Okay, and it turns out that 28 people agree that it's okay, or it's fine, or it's all right to be white, which makes sense, but that also means that then 32 said no. It's not okay to be white. That's a problem. That's a problem, right? And then a majority of those 28 people who voted in favour of the motion, right? Once again, it's okay to be white was the motion, came out and said it was an administrative error that they voted for that proposition. Thus, putting our parliament and our federal people into politicians into the place where they're now racist. And this is the problem with that statement in the first place. It doesn't matter how you put that statement, how you answer that statement. You're going to upset people, right? So if they had have said, of course it is, you would have upset all the other racists for whatever particular reason that they don't like white people. And if you had have said no, as they did, you're going to upset all the white people, right? And Australia is over an 80% white country, right? Anglo-Australians make up over 80% of the country. So now we've got this position where we have a racist parliament. So I've been spending a lot of time thinking about this issue. Now, afterwards, there was, from the Liberal Party, there was a representative who came out and stated that they are against racism of any type after reversing their votes. Unwinnable, guys. Unwinnable now. Too late, you've changed your minds. Which is on you, by the way, Liberal Party. You're a Conservative Party too. And shame on you. You should be saying yes. And I'd like to think that it would have been 100% yes to, okay, it's okay to be white with the motion going forward. And then it would be the same for it's okay to be Aboriginal, it's okay to be Asiatic, it's okay to be Middle Eastern. They should all be at 100%. Why? We're a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multiracial society. And we cannot trust the government to govern to the benefit of all Australians if it's not okay to be any one of the racial demographics that we have in this country. You know, if you're a half-caste Aboriginal, for example, and I know that's not a term that's liked, but let's say that you've got an Aboriginal mother and a Anglo-Australian father. Well, does that mean half of you isn't okay? Is that what that means? How do we measure this now? This is actually a horrific tragedy for our parliament. Elections are coming up next year. And ladies and gentlemen, keep this in the back of your mind, that they do not favour one particular race. Because it's not okay to be that race, right? And believe me, if this had been, is it okay to be Aboriginal, and the result was 28-32, and then most of those 28 people backed out and said, no, it was an administrative error, I'd be just as upset. I would be just as upset. This is ludicrous to pick on any racial demographic and say that they're not okay. They're not okay. Is terrible. It's terrible. There's other concerns here too. For example, there are many pro-Aboriginal groups in Australia. Is it okay now for them to go around and say, well, we don't need to listen to you, white person, because you're not okay according to our parliament? Now, I'm not saying that'll happen, but there's always the chance it could. Now. And what about people like the UPF, who've been saying for years and years and years that there's a white genocide or a war against white people going on? They can use this to recruit more people now, because they've got evidence now. Oh, look at our federal parliament. They don't think it's okay to be white. They can use this. Neo-Nazi groups can use this. Ku Klux Klan people can use this. Our parliament, by even allowing this motion to go ahead, you've caused massive amounts of division. This is a tragedy, and you should all apologise for this, all of you. I don't want to hear systemic racism. I don't want to hear anything else, because now we have systemic racism. We have institutionalised racism because it's not okay to be white. Institutionally. You're the institution, Mr. Government, Mrs. Government. You are the institution. Martin Luther King's dream died in this country on Monday. And that's what makes me sad. I believe that every Australian, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of culture, and regardless of race, is okay. Because we're all individuals, right? You've got different people who will agree and disagree with me that share the same colour of my skin, who look like me, that'll disagree with everything I have to say here today. And that's fine. We're not a homologous people, as the Aboriginal people aren't a homologous people, as the Asian Australian people aren't homologous people. This is going to cause massive problems in the long run. And we, as Australians, deserve an apology for such a racist response from the federal government. I am Nathan Fletcher, and this is my drunk philosophy. I'll see you next time. Uru.